This Green Goblin helmet costs between 125 and 155 euros. But I was wondering, why not make it myself with 3D printing? And I asked myself several questions. Is it complicated? How long will it take me? And above all, is it really worth it? Today we're going to build this Green Goblin helmet. The Green Goblin is one of my favorite supervillains, and last year I created his glider with 3D printing and a hoverboard. But today we're going to build this iconic helmet and we're going to compare it with one I found on the internet. All of this for one purpose: find out if it's better to make it or buy it. Let's go. Here we have the Green Goblin glider. More than 1 year ago I built this project, and for the YouTube video to present this Green Goblin glider I also made the Green Goblin helmet. And I had a lot of questions about this helmet, like how I did the post-processing, which paint I used, and if I could see anything through the eyes. So I've been wanting to do this video for a while, and as we are in the Make or Buy series, I told myself, why not? Why not bring back this iconic helmet and explain to you step by step how I made it. Like this, we can compare if it's better to make it or buy it. In this video, we will learn how to scale the helmet. We will slice it to fit it on the printer. I will share with you some tips and tricks for the post-processing, and I will reveal my secret paint job. But before we start with this project and to measure how much it will cost if we make it ourselves, let's define 3 different categories. The first category will be 3D printing cost. For this project, I will not 3D model this helmet. Instead of that, I will go buy the STL file. For the second category, we will count materials. And here I will count things like filament, paint, and all the materials that will help me with the post-processing. Finally, we will have labor. And on this category, I will measure how much time I will spend sanding, painting, and doing all the things to make this helmet looks great. As I proposed on the other videos, and to simplify things, I will use an hourly rate of 15 euros. But of course, if you are not agree with this and you want me to change something for the next video, please don't hesitate to leave your comments down below. Okay, let's go! Okay, let's start by looking for the 3D file. I use wireframe. You will find lots of interesting files on this website, and for the helmet I'm going to choose the one from Vec 3D. Vec has many other models, so don't hesitate to take a look. The cost of the helmet is around 30 euros. Once the file is downloaded, we will have a folder with the pre-sliced parts. And the good thing here is that this helmet has far fewer pieces than the Iron Man one. Like the Iron Man helmet video, I'm going to use the head file found on printables to adjust the scale of the helmet. I have found that 96% works very well for me, so I'm going to use that scale. This helmet is huge, and also it's very different from the Iron Man helmet we built last week. As you can see, the shape of this helmet is very large, and even if my Prusa XL is pretty huge, I cannot print it so easily. That's why I decided to cut a part of it, and that's okay, but the problem will be for post-processing. But don't worry, I will share with you some tips and tricks on how I will assemble these two parts together, and also on how I will hide this seam line. Now the helmet fits my Prusa XL. So let's move on to 3D printing. And here we have our final print. I really think that the Prusa XL did a great job, but I know this helmet, and there are some parts that are very tricky to print because of the orientation, and that we will need to sand a lot. For example, this part, a little bit here, and also this front part. But hey, still FDM printing, and we cannot escape sanding. Well, at least not with PLA. Also, we are missing the rear part that we will connect here. But let's go step by step, and first of all we are going to remove all the supports and prepare everything for post-processing. For this helmet I used PLA from Polymaker, and I needed about 1 kilo, which costs around 27 euros in France. We're going now to join these two pieces together. And there are several ways to joining them. You can use a special glue like epoxy, but I prefer to use this cheap tool that allowed me to put some hot staples. The hot staples will allow us to create a strong bond between the parts, and it's my preferred way to do it. This tool is not expensive at all and is easy to use. But you have to be careful because it gets hot. The important thing here is to align the pieces properly. If necessary, you can use some clamps to keep them aligned. It is very important to cut the legs from the inserts, and I recommend using a Dremel to remove any excess. Now we move on to the part I hate the most, but that is very necessary to get a good result: sanding. Here I'm going to start with 180 grit sandpaper, and then I'm going to apply the spray filler. Like with the Iron Man helmet we made in the last video, I'm going to apply 2 or 3 coats and let it dry. Now we are going to hide that seam line. Here I'm going to use 2-component filler, and it's very important to use some protection when using this product. I will apply the activator and mix very well. Then I'm going to use it along the helmet to achieve a more uniform surface. Don't hesitate to apply it a little more to the areas with the most defects. We will let it dry and then go back to sanding. If we see that the surface isn't very smooth, we will have to reapply more filler and sand it down a little more. Now I'm going to apply my black base coat in preparation for painting. And I will let it dry. Let's now build the eyes for our helmet. And for me, this part is the most complicated part of this project. Like I said, I did this helmet more than a year ago, and I tried different ways to do the eyes. For example, the first one was to cut some acrylic and to use some heat gun to get the correct shape and glue it inside of the helmet. Then I bought some cheap yellow glasses and I tried to glue it inside of this helmet. This was okay, but it was not so great. That's why I went to my local Fab Lab and I tried the thermoforming machine. The secret to thermoform the lenses of the Green Goblin is this. And this is the master part. With this part we are going to make the mold. And the only secret here is that you must print it with an important C offset, like that we will have some supports and it will allow us to make some molds. If you have any question, don't hesitate to leave your comments. Anyway, I will put these two pieces inside of the machine. I will wait for the machine to heat up and then I will do the thermoforming. I'm going to cut out the lenses to place them inside the helmet. To paint them, I have a technique. It is not perfect, but it works. I'm going to cut a micro-perforated self-adhesive sheet that I'm going to paint in gold. I let it dry and stick it to the lenses. And now introducing the secret paint. This Stardust paint is simply beautiful. It's not the cheapest one, but when you see the end result, it's really worth it. You can find it in spray or apply it with an airbrush. For the varnish, we will use the same one as for the Iron Man helmet. Now let's move to install all the details. For the mouth, I'm going to glue a piece of fabric. I will install the teeth with hot glue. And if the magnets don't fit, you can always use a hot gun to enlarge the hole. With all the time I spent on post-processing, I calculated the cost of $150 in labor. And here I have the finished helmet. I'm going to reveal it, and after that I will give you the final cost of fabrication. Like that we can compare this helmet versus the one we found on the internet. Let's go! And here we have the final result of this build. I'm very happy with this helmet. I find that the paint does all the job, but I must admit that post-processing this helmet was a little bit tricky. There are some corners here and there that are very difficult to sand, and also I think I need to improve a lot on the lenses. As you can see, the technique that I use for the lenses works, but I'm not very happy with it. From the distance looks pretty great, but when you look closely, not so much. That's why if you have an idea and you can help me with this, please leave your comment down below. And now let's check how much it cost me to build it. But today I'm going to share with you two final results. The first one will appear right here, and the second one will appear right here. So for the first one, yes, we are very expensive and we cannot compare from the one we find on the internet. But for the second one, I didn't count the labor. And this is very important because if this is a gift or is something for you, I don't think we should count the labor. You can do this helmet on your extra time or like a hobby. And if you're doing like that, well, I think it's worth it. But please let me know what you think on the comment section. At the end of the day, I prefer to do it myself, but it's your decision if you make it or buy it. As always, please support my channel by subscribing. You can also like the video and share it. You can find me on Instagram as Carlos3D Print, and see you next time for the next build. Bye bye.